Right, let me have a think about this.
Clouds approaching.
That's the target. Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Right.
You gotta extract him.
Do they go in the
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
on the quarantine platform?
The map has been updated. Side op completed. Side ops list updated.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Extraction
Nice.
arrived at Mother Base.
People got service crosses. Aye. Did they get fixed?
Marker
Is that what
removed.
happened? I don't know. I'm confused by what I have done. I will return to the ACC. So I can reflect on my happenings. Well, that's 7, and there were 7. Ah. Nice. Okay. I'll do. Didn't think that was gonna fucking work, but... Or they go on the quarantine platform or something, but... That'll do. That's nice, that's cool. Let's do this fucking AI
Please
pod,
select
shall
a
we?
landing zone.
It's probably best to go this way, actually. Now that I think about it...
Deploying.
Thinking is very, very, very questionable to do, but I have thunk it, and this is what I want to do. So go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself, you motherfucker. BB and DD. AI pop was in that one.
Marker placed.
Was in that one, I believe. I believe in a thing called love. It's just making I believe in a thing called love.
Careful down there, boss.
Fucking song. I wish you could dive roll like you could in the older games. dive roll in 3. Going around the fucking jungle and just fucking dive rolling everywhere.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Extractor mom.
Analysis complete. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Whoa, close. That was a human. There's actually 2 humans. Is she in this one? Finish your mission, Jack. Prove your loyalty. Go shoulder butt. Uh-oh. Can I go in this way? Yeah, I can.
The map has been updated.
I will devote myself to Volgins, and with the Colonel's money, I will achieve them, just as I once created the codes.
Whoops.
Kill me now.
Kill me. Kill me now. Look at all the images. Cars on there, BB's on there. Oh my god. Has the base just gone on alert? That'd be something, wouldn't it?
AI pod launch confirmed. We'll pick it up.
No,
I wonder
no
what
one
kind
gave a
of
fuck.
secrets are buried in it. I'll let you know if we learn something. Got a report from the intel
Ooh.
team. Remember how the man on fire was crushed by Sahelanthropus? Well, the Soviets recovered his body. Could he really be dead? Boss, head for Yaha Ogu's supply outpost. If Skullface was right, and a thirst for revenge can turn a man into a demon and keep the dead alive, and this man on fire who's been coming after us ever since he woke up, well, that just might be what's left of our old friend Volgin.
I knew it's Volgin. No, it's Volgin. Right, wrong. Nice. There it is. There's where the fucking man's remains are. Strangeless memento. Oh yes, we can. Give me it. Where is that?
Please specify
Give it
project.
to Daddy. Look at my solid snake. There it is. Yes, the bandana. Whoops, didn't mean to cut out.
Please select a mission.
Whoa. Nice.
There's something I've been wondering. Why are you called Code Talker?
Code Talker.
During World War II, the U.S. military used the languages of different tribes, including the Navajo, as codes, right? I know the term Code Talker was used to mean people sent to the battlefield to speak in those codes. Were you one of them?
Our mother tongue was indeed used for war. But I did not go.
Commencing platform
I was already
construction.
over the conscription age. However, I was made to help craft the codes that were spoken. So in a wider sense, you could call me the code talker for that. Navajo is a complex language, and virtually no one outside the U.S. speaks it. They must have thought it was the perfect language to use as a code.
Yeah, in the end, the Japanese never cracked it. The cipher is king in information warfare.
Of course, they didn't simply speak in Navajo. They created substitutions for words according to a code book, and then translated those into our language. Young Dene was sent to the front lines of the Pacific Theater as code talkers. To fight is an honor for the Dene. They were the pride of our people. But I cannot say this history brings me joy. Words are alive. When they are spoken, life is breathed into them. They become a part of the listener. Our words were transformed into lifeless ciphers and used for war. This, after the Black Honor spent generations suppressing the language.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So I guess we shouldn't be calling you Code Talker, huh?
No, I do not mind. The reason Skullface called me Code Talker was because I also am responsible for coding language into the vocal cord parasites. I am the same as those young warriors, used for a cipher's sake. I must never forget that. The name, Code Talker, is a lesson carved into my being.
You said
Fair enough.
Skullface ordered you to weaponize the vocal cord parasites. But you also said he wasn't the reason.
And he wasn't. I was seduced by the parasites. That is a fact.
How? You mean from your curiosity as a scientist?
That I cannot deny. But there is more to it. The story goes back to the 19th century, to my earliest memory. One day, a man from the government visited our Hogan, our home.
Hogan.
I
Hulk
cried
Hogan.
as he yanked me from my mother's arms and took me away to an Indian boarding school. From that day forward, I became George. This was the name my teacher gave me. I was forced to give up my Dene name, forbidden from speaking anything but English. If we dared utter a word of filthy Navajo, the teacher made us eat a bar of soap.
Yeah. That was the U.S. government's education policy for Native Americans.
To erase our words was like erasing our people. Their education was tantamount to ethnic cleansing. Over time, the overt persecution of our language stopped. But to this day, it continues to be eaten away by the lingua franca, that is English. Many of the Dene outside the reservations can speak nothing else. And it isn't just our language. Across the world, minority languages are being destroyed by dominant languages. Many are on the verge of extinction.
Enter the vocal cord parasites.
Yes, I began thinking that minority languages needed some sort of deterrent against dominant languages. In order that their peoples and cultures would survive. It was then that I came across literature at the Foundation, claiming that man acquired language thanks to a type of parasite, one that distinguishes between languages as a precursor to reproduction. If I could just resurrect it, make it more pathogenic, I would have my deterrent against English. But I failed to hide that aim from Skullface. He noticed. Yes, I wanted to retaliate against the English language, though never did I intend to actually use it as he planned. You know how the story ends. I was forced to study how to make the parasites compatible with all the world's languages. All but English.
However, he in fact secretly isolated an English strain.
I will not be held prisoner by the man's phantom. The English strain must not be allowed to exist either.
Marker removed.
Fair play. Go to the ACC.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
That's good then, isn't it? I guess we extract them on fire.
Please select a landing zone. Deploying.
Yum. Yum yum in my tum tum. Yummy baby. See you baby. Shaking that ass. Shaking that ass. Shaking that ass. See you baby. I believe he's just in the middle. Stuck in the middle with you. The game's gonna make me have to do fucking those two mission subsistence and extreme. I'm gonna be fucking pissed. So I can do extreme, destroy one vehicle and just let the time run out. Just ignore everything else. That'd be fucking boring.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Huh. Is that it?
Analysis complete.
Taking out the power system now will limit the enemy's activities at night.
Analysis complete. Analysis
Not what I fucking
complete.
asked.
Analysis complete.
Not what I wanted to know, Ocelot. Not what I wanted
Analysis
to know.
complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
In the willy. In the chest. In the other part, yeah.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Darren B. Bye, Volgin. He is charred to a crisp. Uh-oh. Oh! Oh, I didn't fucking agree to this. Oh shit. I didn't fucking know this was gonna fucking happen, did I? Why did you just stand there and let him fucking touch him up? Whoa, Volgin's got hands. Oh my god, his fucking face is real. What the fuck? Volgin's rendered. He rendered his face. What the fuck? Oh! What the heck? To extract him that way, I guess. He's got blood over his face again. Okay, sound cut out for half a second. Weird. Nice. Nice. I guess we'll go back to Mother Base. Darren B. Some of him's a bit blue
I
res,
barely
but...
recognize you, Colonel.
Hmm?
Skullface used your thirst for revenge against Big Boss, did he?
Lol.
Boss,
Yeah.
I've updated the mission list. We've
Ooh.
received some new job offers.
Exciting.
Details are on your iDroid.
Oh my god, I just got a load more fucking things. Shadow hard.
Development project
Grosnigrad.
has been added.
Oh. I believe, obviously there's the two types of skulls that you fight. When you extract them, they go into these two cages. Fucking quarantine platform, brev. Miles away. A man on fire. Whoa, I'm on fire. Oh, the olive's got that sink again. I hate that it does that.
Volgin, the GRU colonel, was burned alive with a Shagohod during Operation Snake Eater 20 years ago. Despite suffering severe burns to his entire body, he still clung to life. After you left Seleniarsk, Volgin's body was taken to a research institute in the outskirts of Moscow. But modern medicine couldn't explain why he was still alive. Not that the colonel was any ordinary man to begin with. That constant electric current he had running through his body that he could unleash at will. To be honest, I was always uncomfortable around him. Thought I might get electrocuted just by standing nearby.
The institute studying him was tasked with investigating and developing human paranormal abilities. The comatose Volgin was used to further the Soviet Union's research into such abilities. But not long ago, the facility burned to the ground, and Volgin's body was never found among the rubble, even though the fire started in the room where they were keeping him. This occurred at around the same time you woke up. If Skullface was right, and a thirst for revenge can turn a man into a demon and keep the dead alive, then this man on fire who's been coming after us ever since you woke up, well, that just might be what's left of our old friend Volgin. It's not over yet. Back in '64, in Seleniorsk, you brought his plans for a utopia down in flames. That grudge is what's keeping him alive. The day the research facility holding Volgin burned down, a Soviet jumbo passenger jet happened to crash nearby, far away to the north of that hospital in Cyprus. On board the plane was a young boy who was being studied at the same facility. The plane fell to Earth from over 8,000 feet, but the boy's body was the only one not recovered. At almost exactly the same time as the crash, Volgin awoke in that facility.
Oh my god.
According to the Research Institute's documents, the gifts this boy demonstrated included psychokinesis and telepathy. To protect his mind from being inundated with other people's thoughts, he always wore a kind of gas mask. A rudimentary form of psychic insulation, apparently. We don't know where this boy is, but if Skullface is connected to him, we may cross paths with him yet. This boy is part of a new age where nothing we understand about the world makes sense anymore. Don't let your guard down.
I don't think it made sense in '64 when weird shit was fucking happening, mind. Do you know what I mean? Any of the boss fights in that was like just fucking mental.
So what were they doing at
4
Enzoya
minutes.
Badiabalu, that facility with all the people laid out in rows?
The abandoned factory Shabani was held in.
Shabani.
It is precisely as you guessed. Black Anna was coding languages into the vocal cord parasites. They infected the subjects with the parasites, then made an incision in the throat to expose the vocal cords. That allowed them to play recordings of a desired language
Oh, fuck that mission.
directly to the parasites.
And the parasites learn the
Oh,
languages
fuck
that
that
way.
mission too.
That's some teaching method. I just don't get how a bunch of bugs had the brain power for it.
They don't. Do not judge them by human standards. They do not learn as a function of intellect.
Then how do they do it?
What language the parasites react to is coded into their genes. You could expose the Japanese strain to English for years, and it would never learn the language and react to it. The pronunciation, rhythm, and structure are different. But what about, say, Spanish and Portuguese? Linguistically, the two are very close.
Yeah, they're both Ibero-Romance languages.
Even so, a Spanish language mating pair exposed to Portuguese will not copulate. Only when they hear Spanish, only then. And the majority of their offspring will be the same.
So it's a literal case of a mother tongue.
But if that's
How'd
so,
that work,
I don't see
though?
how the different strains can be created in the first place.
Well, among the many thousands of offspring, there may be just a few that react to Portuguese.
You're talking about mutations.
Correct. Playing the tapes helps to identify the mutant strains. Those specimens are then isolated and bred with one another. From their
I like
children,
bread.
specimens that react more strongly to Portuguese can again be selected and bred. Repeating this process creates a strain that reacts solely to Portuguese and never to Spanish. Mutation and selection. No different to breeding roses.
So you kept increasing the change over the generations, adapting them to languages from all over the world. Must have taken a hell of a lot of patience.
More like patience. Just how many died for this?
There's something I still don't get. In order to tell which larvae will react to Portuguese, you'd have to let them develop and then see which copulate. That means you'd need tens of thousands of guinea pigs. There's no way you could do that in a facility that small.
For normal selective breeding methods, you would be right. But there is a more effective selection method when training the vocal cord parasites.
Go on.
It is not only when mating that the parasites listen for language. Shortly before hatching, larvae display markedly increased activity in reaction to particular language. The active eggs can be identified under a black light.
Eggs.
So the eggs that react to Portuguese are selectively placed
Like
in the
eggs.
throats of subjects. So you see, narrowing down strains that react to the target language is an effective process. Though I'm sure that even so, many lost their lives to create the various strains.
Taken against their will into that dungeon.
There are two reasons for playing the tapes for the parasites. One, to isolate the eggs that respond to the target language. And two, to cause the specimens raised from the selected eggs to mate.
I get how the system works. But why do they respond to language before they even hatch? It's not like they can mate from inside an egg.
It is because the larvae learn the language before hatching.